What's going on, everybody? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Tonight, I've got a no BS live stream for you because there's been a lot of talk and crypto influencers on YouTube. A lot of things are just flat out false, and I don't believe it's misinformation. I don't believe that it's intentional lying or anything along those lines. I just think it's a lack of understanding of the overall greater picture, the bigger picture. So with that being said, I'm gonna hop into a couple of things, and I'm gonna tell you 100% truth of what's going on. And first, I'm gonna give you a little bit of information about myself. I do this. I make these videos and I do these live streams um, directly after work. I work in industrial maintenance, so I'm all day working on power presses, roll formers, rebuilding gearboxes, hydraulic accumulators, all kinds of different things. I have an extremely physically demanding job, and I work in a very hot steel plant that is not air conditioned. Today in Baltimore, it was 96 degrees. It was about 110 in the plant. And so right now I'm doing this stream with my knees wrapped in ice and hot, just got out of the shower directly after work. But I do this because I want to do this very much. I am of the mindset that you have to grind and grind and grind to get to where you want to be. And nothing that's worth doing comes easy. So doing this and trading 4 hours before work, 4 hours after work, making these videos is worth it for me. With that being said, I am also of the mindset where I don't BS, I don't sugarcoat things, I don't care much about feelings. Um, and I think a lot of people right now are in their feelings about Bitcoin and about the crypto market in general. So this draw here, this was a draw that I tweeted this draw on February 18th. So almost 4 months ago, or actually just about 4 months ago, I tweeted this draw. And I was like, hey, wouldn't this be an awesome opportunity? If this was a double top, a large macro double top, it would be an amazing opportunity to get Bitcoin around $17,000. It would be the opportunity to have life-changing money. And those times, January, February, March, I was talking in my videos about working a ton of overtime and saving as much money as I could to have capital to get into the bottom of the bear market, to really be able to put large buy orders in what I thought was the bottom of the bear market. I was also talking about making sure you have a strategy. If you're in positions, how do you get out? What is your bear market strategy? And how badly would the macroeconomics in the larger traditional markets, how bad would it affect crypto? With that being said, I don't know that 17K is a viable target anymore. I don't know if we could go much, much lower than that because crypto has never seen a US or a global economic recession at all, and it has never even sniffed anything close to a depression. And US markets could actually enter depression. We were talking about recession 3, 4 months ago, and now every day someone's on the news talking about recession, recession, recession. The markets are already in recession. That's already in. At least the Nasdaq, and at least the Nasdaq. I think S&P 500 is very close if it's not already, and the Dow Jones as well. But recession is here. Inflation is not going down. Everything we know about crypto, all of our historic data, everything that people are posting, and that's what I want to talk about tonight. I don't think people are bad guys. I don't think people are intentionally misleading, but they're using historic data from crypto that is no longer relevant and holds no bearing because crypto has never seen a recession. You will see a lot of people show you this, and they will show you this logarithmic rainbow band and pretty much say, these are the blow off tops in the orange and red range. And you get into the blue and purple, this is a buy. See, like it went to the gray area here. In the bottom of this bear market, it went to the gray area here when the COVID dump. And we're in the gray area now, like DCA in now. You should DCA, this is going to be like the lowest it is. We have no idea. This whole logarithmic thing here is completely irrelevant at this point because crypto has never had to withstand a bear market. We have no idea what's going to happen. It could come all the way down and retest 10K. And it would make sense to retest 10K because most, I don't want to say most, there are a lot of people following the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones and stuff who think traditional markets will potentially bottom out at the pre-COVID peaks. So you look on like the NASDAQ on the weekly, and the peak pre-COVID here was at 97 or 9600 for NASDAQ. And that's where people think that it could potentially bottom out in the recession and we get kind of a reset, kind of a complete reset, like the 2 years of inflation never actually happened. If this does happen and Bitcoin's correlation to these traditional markets continue in the same manner, then there's no reason not to believe that we could see 13K if it's this peak, or maybe the peak right beforehand, 10K. Now, I don't believe that dollar cost averaging is a bad thing, but I will not tell you to do so. I am not one of those people that will say that you should DCA. Anytime is good to DCA, because it's not. Anytime is not good to DCA, because a lot of crypto analysts, I'm going to use air quotes for analysts, the people who are really good at reading the news about crypto and giving you opinions about crypto. 30K was the bottom. 28K was the bottom. 25K was the bottom. And guys, if you're new to crypto and you haven't been here in 2017, 2018, the same exact thing happened in 2018, where the price came down from $19,000 high and 12K had to be the bottom and 10K had to be the bottom. And then it was 6K was the absolute bottom. And then the market bottomed out at 3K. You have to be able to look at this with no emotional objective at all. You have to be completely emotionless and just look at the chart patterns. I didn't know about the idea of going into a full recession on the stock market. I was just making a chart of a double top. And that was my expectation for my double top to get down this low. But we can't look. You cannot look at any previous crypto runs from bull market down to bear market. There's a very good opportunity that this bull or this bear market breaks the top of the old bull market. And that has never happened before. And Ethereum has already done it. With that being said, there's a couple of things I want to show you. BlockFi has liquidated Three Arrows Capital. So that is a major investor that has been liquidated. And I believe Three Arrows Capital was also liquidated from FTX. I might have to look that up to confirm it, but yes, Three Arrows has been liquidated today. Celsius has a liquidation price right now at $13,600. They've been buying down and buying down to try to drop their liquidation price lower and lower. And Celsius, to the best of my knowledge, you still can't withdraw anything out of Celsius. So that's also still very much up in the air as to whether or not they will allow withdrawals until they're out of the woods, so to speak, for liquidation price. So who knows? And then do you want to have any money in this type of an exchange where they will freeze you if they are in danger of losing their money? And there was one last thing, and this was a text image I received from a friend of mine. I'm not going to name my source, but this is some inflows into exchanges. Coinbase, $97 million of Bitcoin inflow, 4,730 Bitcoin, 6,651 Bitcoin, $137 million worth, and then 10,000 Bitcoin, $205 million worth, and then another 15,000 Bitcoin, $312 million. Coinbase, Bitfinex, Coinbase Pro. So people typically don't put Bitcoin onto the exchange without the thought of selling it. Keep it in mind, there could be a big sell-off soon. There is a potential for another leg down. So I know yesterday or the other day I was talking about the potential to have that little bit of a white cough accumulation pattern, and it very well still could happen. I would still be waiting for a dip below 20K. I'm waiting for a dip below 20K, and then I might actually take a long position because I don't know if all these bottoms come in now or later, or if this is the bottom. The biggest thing about this video is to tell you the truth is that no one knows shit right now. We are all in uncharted territories. We have no idea what's going to happen with crypto in a bear market or in an actual economic recession. And to say otherwise is foolish. To say that the bottom is in is foolish. And you shouldn't listen to those people. To say that you should just keep DCAing all the time. If that's your plan and you've been doing it for 6 months, don't stop now. I'm not going to tell you to stop. But DCAing, thinking you're getting the bottom, and buying Bitcoin at 35,000 and then 30,000 and then 25,000 and then 20,000, how much are you losing on the way down, just kind of constantly falling, catching that falling knife before, eventually we do see a bottom. And when we see bottoms, there is one typical thing about bottoms is that they usually stick around for a while and you have a lot of time. This was the bottom of the 2018 market, 120 days just about, within a 27% range. So yes, there was some range. You're not going to get the bottom the whole time, but a 27% range for 120 days, easy to pick up in there. Easy to pick up crypto there. Right after the COVID dump, and so I'm not going to call it the bottom because the COVID dump was just very much a flash crash. But afterwards, before the bull market took off, the accumulation range after that was an 18% range. It lasted for 84 days. The bottom in 2015 kind of did a little bit of a double fake out before it got off the bottom at 27% range for about 280 days. So there's going to be a lot of time to DCA. There's going to be a lot of time to pick up. You don't have to, every time it dumps, you don't have to try to catch the bottom because you're probably not going to catch the bottom. Last thing on this before I call it a night is going to be people who talk about RSI, who talk about, oh, the market is oversold. The market is oversold. You can say that all you want. And this here, I actually had tweeted this as well. The market was overbought, the highest overbought, January of 21, when the price hit 42K. And it continued to rise up 64% more before topping out. The deepest oversold up until just, recently. Sorry, this should be on the daily. Sorry, I did this on the daily chart when I made this graph. The highest overbought on a daily was at 42K back in January of 21. The deepest oversold so far on the daily chart was at 34K. So we are down 41% more from there as of yet, and potentially still falling. And that was the deepest oversold on RSI that we've been so far on a daily. So keep this in mind. In an uptrend, oversold doesn't mean anything. If the trend is still going up, overbought doesn't mean anything in an uptrend. But if the trend is still going up, you catch the bottoms, you catch the points where it gets oversold, you catch the points where it gets near oversold, or around that 50 RSI range in an uptrend. And every time that RSI gets near 50 in an uptrend, it's going to spike. Conversely, in a downtrend, gets above 50, it's going to spike down. And you get to 50 here, crash down. Get to 50 here, came down, came back down, kind of double topped here around 32K, and then came down. So nothing is absolute, but in a downtrend, oversold means nothing if the trend is still going down, whereas overbought means nothing if the trend is still going up. With that being said, guys, that's it for tonight. I really hope you got something from this video. Please don't be fooled by people who are trying to say that some logarithmic scale is saying that this is the bottom because it's been the bottom 3 other bear markets. This is different. And people usually get made fun of for saying that this time is different. but crypto has never seen an economic recession in the US and in most of Europe and in Asia, all at the same time, making a potentially global recession. We have no idea what crypto is going to do. This could be the bottom. It could go down another 50%. Hell, it could go down to 4K. It could go down to the bottom of the COVID dump. Who knows? Don't be fooled by people who pretend to. That's it for the night, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, till next time, peace.